The script is already in English. There is no need for changes. The whispers grew louder each day, filling his mind with terrifying images. They were not just mere whispers. They were echoes from a time long forgotten, a past shrouded in darkness. Each day, the man found himself entangled in this web of haunting murmurs. The whispers, they told him tales that were far from fairy, tales of gruesome events that had once painted the world red with fear. The stories, they varied. Some spoke of blood-curdling wars fought with no mercy. Others whispered of chilling tragedies that had claimed innocent lives. There were tales of unspeakable cruelty and stories of heart-wrenching betrayals. The whispers, they brought the past back to life, but not a past anyone would wish to revisit. With each passing day, the whispers grew louder, more insistent, more vivid. The man was horrified, paralyzed by the dread that these stories brought. Yet, there was a strange fascination that held him captive. The echoes had a macabre charm, a morbid allure that the man could not resist. So, he started documenting these whispers, these echoes from the past. Every day, he would sit in silence, listening to the whispers, penning down every detail, every horrifying image that they painted. His life, once ordinary, was now a living nightmare, a chronicle of the past's darkest hours. The man's fascination was turning into an obsession. The whispers were no longer just voices in his head, they were his reality. His world was now filled with these echoes, these horrifying tales from the past. He was living amidst these stories, trapped in their chilling narratives. The whispers, they never ceased. They filled his days with dread and his nights with terror. The man was no longer just a man. He was a vessel carrying the horrifying stories of the past. He was trapped in a world of forgotten echoes, unable to escape the horrifying stories of the past. One day, the echoes fell silent, but the silence was more terrifying than the whispers. Imagine waking up one day and the world is void of sound. Our man, once haunted by whispers, suddenly finds himself enveloped in a deep silence. The whispers, once a terror, had become a disconcerting companion, and their absence leaves a void more terrifying than their presence. His world, once filled with echoes of the past, is now eerily quiet. The man finds himself yearning for the whispers, the echoes that once filled his mind and soul. The silence is a deafening scream in his ears, an unbearable weight pressing against his chest. It's a paradox, isn't it? How the absence of something can become more oppressive than its presence. Driven to the brink of madness by the overwhelming silence, he decides to seek out the source of the echoes. He yearns to understand, to bring back the terrifying whispers, for they were at least a form of companionship in his solitude. His journey is not easy, for the path to understanding is often steeped in darkness, but he persists, his desire to break the silence propelling him forward. As he delves deeper into the abyss of his own mind, he stumbles upon a horrifying discovery. The source of the echoes, the whispers that once filled his world, was not from an external force. No, it was much closer. It was from within. It was his own past, a past he had forgotten. A past that was filled with horror and terror, a past that he had suppressed so deeply within himself that it manifested as whispers, as echoes in his mind. The terrifying truth hits him like a ton of bricks. The echoes, the whispers, were his own voice echoing through the corridors of his mind, whispering the horrors of a past forgotten. The silence was a result of his mind no longer able to suppress the horrors of his past. In the silence, he found the source of the echoes. It was his own forgotten past, a past filled with horror and terror. He had been listening to his own echoes all along, echoes of a past he had forgotten. A chilling revelation that sent shivers down his spine and froze his heart. It was a reality too horrifying to accept, but one that he could no longer deny. The whispers that haunted him, the echoes that followed him, they were all his own voice, his own past. The man had been living in a self-created labyrinth of echoes, each spine-chilling tale that he had heard, every ghostly whisper that sent him running in fear. They were all fragments of his own forgotten life. His mind had spun a web of horror tales, his own tales, so terrifying that he himself had become a victim of his own creation. The echo of a forgotten past had become a horrifying present. The man, once a teller of terrifying tales, now a terrified listener, was trapped in his self-created echo chamber. Each echo, a tormenting reminder of his forgotten past. Each whisper, a haunting melody of his own creation. His mind, a twisted maze of forgotten tales, was now a horrifying reality. The echoes were no longer mere sounds bouncing off the walls. They were the man's own voice, his own past, his own horror. A past he had chosen to forget, a horror he had chosen to bury, had come back to haunt him. And as the echoes grew louder, the man's sanity began to crumble. The weight of his past, the horror of his own creation, was too much for him to bear. He was driven to the brink of madness, unable to escape the echo chamber he had created. In his desperate attempt to escape, he became entangled in his own web of echoes. His screams of fear became echoes. His pleas for mercy became whispers. He was lost in his own echo chamber. And so he became a forgotten echo, a whisper lost in time. His own horrifying past had consumed him, turning him into an echo of his former self. A chilling tale of a man who became a victim of his own creation. A man who became a forgotten echo, a whisper lost in time.